Good morning, afternoon, or evening, everyone. My name is Elivaras, and welcome to the continuation of a series I like to call Thought Process. This is episode 4.
Inside lane, missing exits, glued to the pavement.
On Thought Process, we take a look back on some gameplay and dive deep into the thought processes behind all the actions I'm doing. What I did right, what I did wrong, and hopefully we can help both myself and you all get better at the game as a result. In this episode, we are going to hop into some Mortis gameplay. So first up, you can see my team here. I have Mortis, Bull, and Crow. We're playing Smash and Grab. Now, before we dive on into this, I'd like to note that when playing Mortis in Smash and Grab, you do not want to use him as a gem carrier. The problem with using Mortis as a gem carrier is he can only deal damage in melee range, which means once you have all the gems, or you have a decent amount of gems, you basically have to sit in the back because you can't afford to dive in and risk dying. Because if you were holding all the gems, then you'd give the enemy team all the gems when you died. So the problem is essentially that means that your team is fighting 2v3 since they've got one person on their team who's just sitting around, dashing in, collecting a gem, and dashing back out, not doing any damage. This allows the other team to, since they're 3v2ing, essentially control the center, and you can't do anything as Mortis then anyways. Especially if you've got gems, because then you're going to give them the rest of your gems. So you still have to sit there, but your team can't push back into the center anyways, because only 2 of them can deal damage. So in most game modes, except for Brawl, Mortis is going to be used as an aggressor. Your goal is to get into the enemy backline, hide on the flanks, get into the enemy backline, and take out their squishy characters. After his buff, Mortis now deals a ton, and I mean a ton of damage, and he can do it really quickly provided you save some of your dashes. So a good note is that you don't want to use all your dashes just to get close to an enemy. You want to use bushes to get closer, maybe use A dash and dodge and juke left and right and try to get closer to them before you use your dashes, as your dashes are your means of damage. So you can see I'm going to pop all 3 just so I can get further up the field, and I'm going to let them recharge. I'm going to hop into these right bushes here. They have a Spike, Primo, and Poco. So you can see here, I can see Spike there, so I'm going to have to fall back. Spike is doing the smart thing and kind of patrolling the bushes here, keeping us away. Now, here's what happens here. So because I'm in the bushes, Spike's over here is pushing me towards the center because of that. But these 2 don't know where I am. They're focused on killing the Bull and the Crow, so this allows me to dash in and just get right on top of them and take out Poco here. Now, Spike gets a little bit close there, and I was thinking about going back in, but in the end I didn't have enough health, and he could chunk me in 2 shots, so I didn't want to get too close. And there I was thinking about going forward again, but didn't. Now here's what's going to happen. I'm going to get ready to charge back in here. Spike gets a little too risky. They didn't scan the bushes. He thinks I'm just pulling all the way back down here, so I'm just going to move forward while he thinks I'm down there, and I'm going to pop out right next to him, so that he isn't able to throw off a super and take me out there. Now you have to be very careful when fighting tanks as Mortis, because tanks have a lot of health. You only deal 1,000 damage. I'm not max, so you'll do a little bit more than that. I'm at like 25 power level. But you do have to be very careful because someone like Primo's got like 7,200 health if they're maxed. And if you're only doing like 1,000 to 1,200, that's really not much damage. You need a lot of shots to take them out. So generally you just want to chip them out. You don't want to stay in sustained combat with them. So here, Spike throws his super down. They're chasing my teammates. I know I'm going to have to dive in and try and save my team here. And what you really want as Mortis doesn't need many shots to charge up a super. So if you have an enemy clump, then often what you can do is you can dash in, hit 2 people at once, and charge up your super very quickly. You can see I'm able to come in, finish off Primo, and then come in and take out Spike. I'm going to try and get on Poco, but I have to pull back there as my dashes are taking too long to recharge, and Poco's still at too much health. It would take me 3 dashes to kill him. Since Crow's going in, manages to take out Poco, but does the smart thing and pulls back as Primo's right there. You can see he's got 7,250, and he's not even maxed. So he's got a ton of health. So you can see what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to chip him, and I'm going to take out Spike. Now, a little thing I could have improved on there, I shouldn't have thrown my bats this way. I could have thrown my bats in the other direction towards Primo and hit both of them and done more damage than if I just hit Spike. So that little something that could be improved on there. But overall, good play. Was able to take out Spike there. You can see Poco making a little mistake. I think if he knows Crow's over here, you've got such a wide spread on Poco, you can probably spread and hit both bushes, so he didn't see me, allowing me to get close. And again, just do a few chip shots on Primo while he gets low. Now, unfortunately, my first attack missed. I thought that second one was going to kill him, but because I missed, he was able to live, and then Poco healed him. You can see we're up 8-3. We don't want to get too risky, but here's a huge problem. Right? You're probably wondering, where the heck is our other teammate? Well, our other teammate has 5 gems, and he's sitting in our base. So our bull essentially was like, oh, we're going to win now, and he's just going to go sit in the base. He's only got 5, though. But because he's sitting in the base, we're now 2v3ing in the center, and we got a Crow and a Mortis. We don't have anyone really sustaining, and they've got a Primo here. Bull would be great at taking out Primo, but Bull's sitting in the base. So now what's going to happen is it's likely that the enemy team is going to catch up to us now. You can see I charge in here. I get a ton of double shots, get my super up, and I'm able to throw out my super. But unfortunately, because they're controlling the gem mine now, we can't do anything. Because we're controlling the gem mine, even if we take someone out, it's 2v2 once we kill someone. But even when we do kill someone, it's a few second affair, and then we have to back out because they have like a Primo that's here who's at super high health ready to try and kill us. So we have to back out, and there's not any time to get any gems. You can see the same problem happening again there. And I do manage to come in, kill another guy, and able to do a lot of damage. But if our bull was here, this would be great. And you can see our bull finally comes back when we're getting close to winning. But it seems to be a little bit too little too late at this point. Our bull's just taken forever. And then when he finally does come back in, he manages to get stomped by Primo and then just about die. And I managed to stay alive, but then get killed by... hopped on by Primo, and I was trying to get my super out, and unfortunately I just couldn't reach it quickly enough. And that is going to lead to Crow getting killed, and because Bull's sitting in the base again, we are going to end up just taking this loss. With only 3 seconds left, there's really nothing I can do, and I managed to get killed by Primo at the last second there. But yeah, so even if you got 5, if you have 7, if you have 9 gems, do not just sit in the back. Play safe, but if you sit in the back, your team is 2v3ing, and the rest of your team, it's unlikely they'll be able to secure the last gem. And all it takes, a gem pops out every 7 seconds. All it takes is a minute and 10 seconds, and the enemy team's caught up and are in the lead at 10 gems. So you don't want to just sit in the back, even if you have a lot of gems. You want to make sure you're there so you can capitalize, so you can take control of the center, and you can get that last gem. You don't pull back until you've already got countdown. You can see here, now this is going to be a little bit of a tough matchup because they have a Daryl, a Spike, and a Pam. Pam and Daryl are big problems for Mortis. Daryl's got a lot of health, Pam's got a lot of health, and both do a lot of close range damage. So you can see Pam's just forcing me back there, and I do end up getting hit by Spike. Good shot by Spike there, doing a nice corner shot. Dynamite throws his super in. But now Spike gets a little too close, wasn't really paying attention, and I'm able to dive in and kill Spike. And now I have some gems. Now Pam's really smart here. What Pam does is she actually shoots her shots down. She doesn't shoot them this way. She shoots them down into the right, because what's going to happen is she's moving to the right, and she knows I'm fleeing down. So what's going to happen is while she's moving to the right, eventually she's going to come around the corner, and because her shots are moving downwards, she's actually going to be able to kill me. If she was just aiming straight right, I would have been able to get around the corner and probably live for at least another round of shots I could try to dodge, but you can see Dynamite's getting pushed a little bit too far up there and ends up getting taken out by Daryl. I dash in, but immediately decide it's a bad idea because I thought Daryl might be sitting there at low health, but he'd backed up, so I immediately dash back out. And now we're in a bit of a tight spot because they're controlling the center. I got a Daryl on the left, so I can't go that way. I got Pam on the Pam at mid, who's keeping me out, and then Spike over here throwing a super down. Now they take out our Dynamite, and I'm not going to bother blowing my super here because I know Daryl's going to kill me anyways, and there's not much I can do with it, so I'm just going to hold on to my super. Now our Brock makes a huge play. Their Daryl bounced, and rolled back towards their base. I believe either their Pam was dead, or she had fallen back to heal. And Mia ends up coming in here on Brock and killing their Spike and taking a whole ton of gems at, like, I don't even know, like, what, 89 health or 39 or something like that. So Mia makes a huge play and keeps us in the game despite almost our whole team wiping. Now their Spike's going to get a little too close again, and I'm going to dive back in when you're playing against a Mortis, you definitely got to make sure that you're not too exposed, not too near many bushes. Your team has to be screening bushes. They've got a Pam and a Daryl. They can screen bushes very well. They should always know where I am, but they don't. And what happened there was I was sitting kind of around here in this area. I just killed Spike. I was behind enemy lines. I know Spike's going to spawn behind me, so all I'm going to try and do is just charge into the enemy team, see if I can do some damage, and at least form a distraction so that Brawl and Dynamite can get stuff done here. They're going to be forced to fall back. Dynamite ends up getting killed. I'm just going to hop over, grab that gem. We can see Spike there contemplating using the super, but deciding he's not going to, since I was behind the rock, and it's unlikely his team would have been able to follow up. So here we go. Now we're just slowly trying to push them back. Pam's on the left flank doing a good job of getting a lot of chip damage in on my teammates. And again, Spike's going to get a little too close. I'm going to capitalize just as he throws his super down, but I'm able to still kill him. And what's going to happen now is we're going to spark countdown, and we want to make sure this Daryl doesn't kill us. Brock's going to do a great job there getting his super off and managing to kill Daryl as he comes in. And I think it would have been optimal. What would have been optimal for Daryl to do is Daryl should have just waited for his two teammates to come in. It's very likely that if Daryl had waited and they all would have stormed. I mean, there's 12 seconds when they're both right at our doorstep. That's plenty of time to kill someone. They could have all closed in, surrounded us with their massive pressure potential, and then just killed us. But instead, Daryl goes in, dies. If Daryl was here right now, I almost guarantee Dynamite and I would be dead. But because Daryl is not here and Daryl decided to go in solo, essentially the game was lost for his team there. And that is going to be the end of that game. Now, here, game 3, Terra, Spike, Mortis. And they do have a Terra as well. I don't remember who the other two people are. They have a Bow and someone else. Now, this is Bow is a maxed Bow is a very tough matchup for Mortis because with his star power, Bow can see like 6 tiles in bushes. And his team can see that based off his vision as well. So essentially what that means is that you can't really hide and get really close because their team knows where you are most of the time. So what's going to happen here is Bow's over here. I think he's kind of expecting me to come around here. So he's trying to get close and to use his vision to an advantage. And I think I'm just out of range at this point. So now as he gets close, I'm going to dash in, try and do some damage. Unfortunately, my second shot missed. I'm just out of range, so I'm going to pull back a bit. There's not really a point sitting in bushes. Bow can see me anyways. As he goes off screen, I'm going to try and wrap around, but he's not going to manage. And here's perfect combo. So Spike and Terra are really good with Mortis because Spike throws his super down, gets everyone slowed. Mortis can come in, dash around, do some damage. Terra as well can pull people in, pull a whole bunch of people in, clump them up, and then Mortis can get a super up really quickly. So I'm going to dash in, take out Shelly. Now, you have to be very careful against Shelly and Terra as Mortis because they can do a massive amount of burst damage if you're close to them. So you got to make sure you just don't get chunked down. You don't want to go in sustained combat with a Shelly. You can see I dash in and dash back out, not taking any damage, surprisingly enough. Remember, Bow can see me, so no point just sitting in those bushes. You can see I'm only dashing in when Shelly is around or just under 2,000 health. Because if I dash in before then, if I can kill Shelly in 2 hits, it's perfect. I have to blow 1 dash to get there and then 2 dashes to kill her. Problem is, if I have to wait for reload, then that's when Shelly can really just turn around and one-shot you. So you have to make sure you get close enough. You either get close enough to where you can attack them without using dashes initially, and so you can kill them with the dashes you have remaining. If you have to wait for reload, don't bother trying to kill them because a Shelly and a Terra will be able to burst down immediately at close range. So only go after them if they're at low enough health that you can kill them with the remaining dashes that you have. Otherwise, you're going to have to wait for like a 2-second or 2.5-second reload, and that's going to mean that Shelly's going to be able to react and kill you in that time. You can see Spike throwing his stuff down again. I'm able to dash back in, kill Shelly. I mean, you can see their Terra was contemplating using their super. And we can see our Terra pulls in the Bow, kills him. Now, here is a very critical point in the match. Our Spike is low. Their Terra has super. It hasn't been used yet. I know their Terra somewhere on the left, and it's likely their Terra is going to throw their super down and try and trap Spike. So Spike's falling back. You can see their Terra cards right there. Spike's now at 794. You can bet your bottom dollar that a Terra Super is going to be coming in, and you can see right there, Terra Super. So I know I've got to get over there and wrap around behind their Terra and try and prevent her from getting away with those gems. You can see the Terra sees me coming around. I dash to try and attack, but she dodged that way, but our Terra now is coming in for the full surround. They got the Shadow. We have our Terra. And see what's going to happen now is our Terra manages to do a little bit more damage on their Terra, and I'm going to throw down my Super and kill her. And I'm going to do a ton of damage to Shelly here. So now I'm going to dash back in. Shelly's at 20 health. I'm able to finish her off with that last attack. Bo's at low health. I have 7 gems, so I got to be careful, but Bo decides he's going to chase towards me, so I'm going to turn around, kill him, and then run back as the rest of their team is coming out of spawn. You can see a big moment there. If I had not gotten around behind their Terra, that could have been a huge problem because their Terra could have retreated upwards. So I cut them off along with our Terra's Shadow that her super spawned. So we were able to get a full surround off and kill their Terra. I think the biggest moment had to be noticing that the Spike was low and that their Terra had super and our Spike had all the gems. So you got to expect that a Terra super is going to be coming at Spike, especially after he took that last hit, which put him down to like 794. So you can expect the Terra supers coming, so you got to get over there and get ready to take those gems. So now our Terra and Spike are just going to do a little bit here and try and derp around a bit, but our Terra is going to get a little risky for not any reason. So she's going to die, and we're going to have to reset the countdown. Now, we are in countdown, but what I'm going to do here is they only have Bo on the field. So what I'm going to do is, you can see I'm at 9 gems. Now I'm at 10. This means that both of my teammates can die, and we're still going to have countdown. So our Spike now, instead of having to sit in the base, can afford to stay up there and do damage and prevent them from getting close to me. Because it doesn't matter if Spike dies. I've got 10 gems, so our countdown's still going to be there. You can see Spike's just about going to die, and our Spike actually dies right there, but we still have 10. If I had had 9 gems, either our Spike would not have been able to be up there pushing them back, or because he just died, it's possible that the countdown would have been reset again, meaning more opportunity for the enemy to make a comeback. So you can see there, Wi-Fi right at the end. But yeah, that is going to be the victory for the third match. So, first match, what did we learn? We learned that even if you have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 gems, if you do not sit in the base until you have countdown. And even then, you want to be careful just in case one of your... If you don't have 10... You have to be careful. You don't want to just run back, sit in your base, even if you have countdown, because if one of your teammates is closer up in the middle and they die, that could be a huge problem, and you won't be close enough in range to help out. So even if you have a ton of gems, you got to stay near the center, keep eyes on where the enemy is, and try and secure those last gems. Because if you sit in the base and you don't have countdown, then that means your team is now fighting a 2v3, and it's unlikely they will be able to secure the last gems needed to get countdown. And you can see... even up in that first match, I was killing people left and right. Crow was doing a ton of damage, but we weren't able to secure gems in the middle because we kill one, but then it would just be a 2v2, and we've already blown all our attacks, so we have to pull back, and they can just grab another gem. So don't sit in the base until you have countdown, and even then, you want to keep tabs on enemy positions. You want to make sure that your allies are not near the middle and at risk of dying. So you just got to be very careful. You want to keep eyes on all enemy teammates and don't just sit in the base until you're almost guaranteed a victory. Second and third game, we won both games. Generally, you want to make sure, I think the big takeaway here was you want to make sure that when you're going in against someone like a Shelly or a Terra or a Bull, someone who can do a lot of damage, or like a Primo, you got to be able to either, okay, so let's take a look at Shelly and Terra and Bull as an example. If you're going in against them, they can kill you in 1 or 2 shots, and they can shoot very quickly. So, if you have to reload at any point while you're attacking them, it's likely they'll be able to turn around and kill you. Because your advantage is your advantage of surprise and speed. You can go in, dash in, get like 2 or 3 dashes in, and because you're dashing around, it's hard for them to hit you, and you can kill them. If you cannot kill them and you run out of dashes, you can't dash. It's much harder for you to dodge. They can like 1 or 2 shot you at close range now. So what you want to do is get close enough in range to around 1 or 0 dashes. Generally around 1 dash against a Shelly or a Bull You want to be within 1 dash range, because if you walk all the way up to them, it's likely they'll be able to shoot you before you've dashed. So get into range where you can take 1 dash to get to them, 2 dashes to kill them. Any more than that, and they're going to be able to recover and kill you. So you have to be very careful. You got to make sure you can kill them with the dashes you have remaining. Against someone like a Primo, Primo's got a lot of health. You can't just dash in and sit around him as you would normally do against like a Colt or a Barley or a Brock or a Spike or something, because what's going to happen is he's got so much health that you're going to blow all your attacks. You have to blow like an attack getting to him and then 2 attacks attacking him, but he's still got a ton of health left, so he can just sustain damage you down since he's got that much health and you don't. So if you're facing someone like a Daryl, Bull, Primo, you're only going in for chip shots or finishing a kill. You dash once in, get a little bit of damage, dash once out, hopefully get more damage on your way out, and then stay back. You cannot be in sustained engagements against tanks unless they're very low health. So yeah, I think that's just about going to wrap it up. I think that's all I would like to cover for this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you learned a bit. I know I've been really enjoying myself playing Mortis as an aggressor. I don't enjoy him too much in Brawl Ball, sitting around with the ball, not very fun, but playing it as an aggressor and being able to take out enemy squishies, you can just be game-changing as Mortis, especially if enemy brawlers clump up. And I don't even have my star power. I probably would be able to survive a lot better if I had my star power, because Mortis' star power is very strong, and it means someone thinks they're going to kill you, but you get a soul at the last minute, or the last second, rather, and your health boosts up by 1,000, they can't kill you, you go out, kill them instead. So it's can really swing fights, and in essence, swing games. So yeah, I'm really enjoying playing Mortis as an aggressor. I recommend you try it out yourself. If you can get good at him, he's super strong, and really good against long-range, squishy brawlers. So, and the thing that makes him so good is because he's so good at against long-range, squishy brawlers, you can very much dominate enemy teams, especially on big open bounty maps. If you get good at dodging, or even if there's a little bit of cover, you get kind of close and you get good at dodging, you wind your way towards them, and then you can end up dashing out and taking them out, and they can't do much, and their whole team's focused on killing you, and it's hard to hit you because you're dashing around and moving quickly, and then your teammates can go and kill them because they're focused on trying to not get killed by you. So Mortis is super strong as aggressor. Don't use him as a gem carrier. Don't dash in against tanks. Don't dash in against tanks for sustained engagements, chip shots, or to finish them off. Don't dash in against Shelly or Terra or Bull unless you can kill them with the dashes you have remaining. And don't sit in your base if your team does not have countdown. And yeah, that is going to just about wrap it up. I would like to thank you all for watching. Have a great rest of your day. Cheers, guys.